So Sakamoto Days has a bit of a problem with the release of episode 3. And what I just said there is the problem. A lot of people aren't going to realize episode 3 dropped today. They're going to say, how are you watching episode 3? And this isn't the first time this has happened. Stuff like, I believe Blue Box, which is currently airing, has that issue. Stuff like Komi Can't Communicate. There is a decent amount of Netflix hosted anime that are 1 week behind globally, but in Japan are essentially looking to be a week ahead. And I don't think it's because of Netflix specifically, because half of Netflix anime doesn't do this. I think it's due to specific licensors and distributors. I'm pretty sure, could be mistaken, I don't know. But I was under the assumption, because this isn't my first rodeo covering a show which has this kind of gap. Because usually I'm just used to people being like, oh, I'm gonna use a VPN, which I can set my location to Japan and watch on Netflix because they have subs even if you're on the Netflix Japan's version. Or Yo Ho Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. But to my surprise last week, I had a lot of discussion about how like, okay, I guess I'm gonna wait a week to watch the episode. I was like, okay, that's new. I'm not used to that. And it got me thinking, and seeing the disconnect between people's discussions of the first two episodes, I'm generally wondering if this is gonna kill momentum and buzz for discussion, because one of two things can happen, both for me as a creator, but also you as a viewer wanting to discuss. We can all just universally try to like say, hey, we're just gonna watch episode 3 one way or another. And then mostly the discussion forums on r/anime or videos like these will just continue discussion as usual, and a small group will be behind by 1 week. But it almost feels like, given the more popular nature of the Sakamoto Days name, it seems like the masses are actually flocking to the week behind. So, I mean, I'm okay. Like, if people want me to stay a week behind, I will, if the vast majority are saying that. Like, if people are like, nah, I'm gonna wait till Netflix Global drops, episode 3 next week. And if that's the consensus, I'll just stay a week behind. But it's bigger than just like, if people are gonna naturally talk on my videos. It legitimately, I'm interested to see, because I am kind of worried that discussion is going to get killed. And I don't think, and people are going to just naturally blame Netflix, but I don't think it's Netflix. Everything that I've heard about this situation from multiple different anime, and given the fact that stuff like, well, I mean, Delicious in Dungeon is one of the more recent examples, a pretty big show. It's not specifically Netflix being like, we want Japan to be 1 week ahead of everywhere else. It's something to do with the licensors and distributors, I'm 90% sure. And if it is Netflix decision, what the hell, man? You're already getting more on the weekly trends. Come on, you're almost there. Just don't screw us around. But either way, I am concerned, because I kind of get it on one hand. You know, people thought just 1 episode dropped last week, not 2, because Netflix Japan got episode 2. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens, because I really want this show to get the discussion I think it deserves. And then you add in the fact that half of the manga readers think the production isn't adequate enough, and we're in a weird discussion. So going forward, I'm not really going to touch upon the fact that constantly, everyone's talking mad shit about the production or what the hell's going on with this release. But I think it's important for this episode because it's currently a bit of a head scratcher for me. But on the topic of the episode, I really liked it. Of course, if you want to support my work though and see my full thoughts of these episodes, do have a Patreon where we got those full live reactions if you're so interested. So we go to an amusement park this week after a pizza delivery guy tries to kill us. Just the idea that, as I'm thinking to myself, like, where are we gonna go? Because clearly he doesn't want to be in this lifestyle, right? So, like, what's gonna be, like, his hook in? And a pizza delivery man comes in with the goddamn pizza cutters, and they're just eating pizza. Like, bros, what the hell? And then it escalates into them going to an amusement park. Not because of, people are trying to kill us. Should we go to an amusement park? No, it's because they already made a little family get-together day and he can't really back out of that. And we go to a bunny-themed amusement park where I do get it on paper. Like, I have seen some panels and I have seen, like, why people would be like, man, where's the Demon Slayer treatment? Where's the, the Ufotable level animation for something that has this crazy a panel work? I do get it, but I just don't think the show looks bad. Like, there are aspects about the show that make me question. Like, I do think characters are oddly disproportioned. I mentioned it last week with our girl, but more so in this episode, I'm noticing a lot of people's heads and necks look oddly small compared to their shoulders and torsos. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just part of the charm. I don't know. But when you look at a fight, which happened, the big fight of this episode, starts off on a moving roller coaster where our boy jumps lands and they're fighting, they're constantly dodging. The shit looked good, to then only landing into the tent where he dresses up in a mascot costume, where Sakamoto acts as his eyes as he reads his mind for instructions of how to do shit. The fighting choreography was good. Like, it wasn't just like, oh my god, here's the moving background and the character model slowly punching. Like, yes, anime is always going to do that because it's part of its charm and style, but it actually did move around. I thought the choreography was solid. It's just like, I do get it. Like, I'm not saying like, oh my god, the manga readers are completely overreacting. No, like, I get it. It's just, it doesn't bother me personally. I think maybe because my expectations for the show were different. Like, I walked in thinking, when I read the synopsis, I knew it was a popular manga, but I thought to myself, that sounds really silly and funny. And that's, you know, what I got in the first 2 episodes. But also, it was surprisingly heartwarming with how a man turned family man. So it had more heart on top of that silly and fun atmosphere. But I get it. If people had the expectations these are some of the best fights of all time, the anime not getting that across, yes, would probably be an issue for those who have that. But as an anime only, I'm not going to invent issues when there are any for myself. So for me, the fights are fun and sometimes really cool, but yes, the fights are not the best thing of all time. And if you think they are in the manga, that means the anime adaptation didn't do its job. But I think for your average anime watcher, they're gonna be like, man, that was really funny and fun. And I think really that serves the purpose in a way, just maybe not in the exact way you wanted. So it's like, I do get where people are coming from, but I'd be a liar if I said, man, I'm so mad it doesn't look like these. I saw a few panels, you know, like, and I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty damn good, but I don't know, maybe I just had different expectations. And I think for me, the biggest thing I'm really enjoying about the show is learning about Sakamoto and learning about his family, and honestly just feeling like we've known this group far longer than 3 episodes. And that's a very important thing if you're going to have like the main core theme be about family and bonds. To immediately have your viewer be like, yes, I feel like we've already bonded with them, is incredibly important. The voice actors are great. It's just, I don't know, like, it just feels like a great cast of characters that I'm not 3 episodes into. I feel like I'm in season 2. Like, I'm in season 2, episode 3. Like, there's no way I've only known them for this long. And they even introduce another character, Nagamo, who comes in, acts like a clone, and was ready to throw hands. Like, the characters are too good for this show, that's all I'm saying. I do hope discussion is okay for this one, because it feels like between every anime channel out there gonna be on, some people are gonna be release episode 2 today, some are gonna release episode 3, Reddit's gonna be confused out of their mind globally. It's like, we're in a weird point where, like, I think discussion is gonna be muddied, but hopefully the 2 things I hope is that, you know, the production isn't so bad for people that that's going to be a majority of the conversations, and we universally figure out as a community how the hell we're watching this. Are we going to stay at the global release, or are we just going to do what we've always done with these shows and either turn on a VPN and go to Japan, or yo ho ho, a pirate's life for me? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing down below, though. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. Like I mentioned, we do have a Patreon. We got those full live reactions. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Hayden, Cody Namir, Oris Lopez, Project 7, Emma K-Pop, Sandra Nuns, and we also have 0451 Jim. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.